Hello, and welcome back to the How to Do Stuff in the Wilderness podcast. I'm getting it down. Look at that. Thanks for tuning in once again, and to all our loyal fans who have been following us, throughout this whole process, which this is week 6, or actually week 7 because we missed a week, but episode 6 here. And so we're back with another installment of everybody's favorite and the best, might I add, wilderness podcast. To start off, why don't I introduce the people that'll be here today with us. We have some familiar faces once again. This is my co-host, Calvin Hoffman.
Hello, everybody. It's me, back again.
And we welcome back Clyde.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for having me back once again.
Yeah, and Clyde is a recurring guest that we have on here. It's really great to see that you've been coming to all these, and I'm really glad that Dan has kind of extended the invitation that we had going for you. Originally I didn't see you coming back for all these episodes, but it's been good to have you as a, repeating guest here.
Oh, did Dan tell you that he did that?
Well, I just kind of assumed, I guess, since, you just were here when we started recording these past few episodes, so I would assume that he was the one who told you what was going on.
No, Dan hasn't given me any information regarding any of these episodes so far. Neither have you two, but I'm just here as a guest, so...
But how did you get here? Because, after the third episode of the ones that are bad and that nobody should listen to, we kind of had that momentary hiatus, and then we, recorded in this new studio and everything, and we never, I didn't invite you back, so, and I guess if Dan didn't, then...
Wasn't me either, yeah, but
I don't know
guess
what's going on.
We're glad to have him.
Yeah. You got an explanation for us, or...
I know this town pretty well, and Dan's lived here for a while, so just kind of by association, I more or less found out where he lived. I like to go on walks at basically any time of day, and it just so happened that I was walking by his house and saw you two both arriving at the time, and I thought, oh, some special quick reunion occurring already?
All right, well, you're back anyway, and I guess it's good to have your voice here. Anyway, we have to start off this episode with another couple of apologies and things, which I didn't want to get into this, but Dan, our producer, said that we had to. First of all, there was a bit of an incident in the last episode in which we were talking about different equipment. That was actually Clyde's segment. Apparently he wasn't exactly prepared for that, and, since no one was getting him that information, I guess he kind of dropped the ball on that one. But he talked about a certain type of knife which is not exactly, I guess, legal here in the U.S. So that was kind of a problem. Thankfully, we canned the segment before he was able to finish talking about it. But don't take that advice. Don't get that knife, because if you get it, you will probably be arrested. Again, none of us were associated with that. That was all on Clyde. So I'm just going to say shame on you, Clyde, for not realizing that, but we'll keep improving here. Also, with the NASA sponsorship, we have some unfortunate news. The sponsorship didn't go through. Apparently, we did finally get kind of a response from them that, basically said, since they're a government agency, they couldn't, donate money to us or, help us, which is kind of ridiculous. But.
It's kind of bullcrap and a lie, because I've actually seen people get sponsorships from like the Navy. So,
really?
Yeah.
So NASA lied to us.
Yeah, I think so. Based on what you've said and what I've kind of gathered from the situation, NASA is kind of a total dirtbag to us, and they kind of lied to get us off their heels.
All right, well, NASA is a liar. Don't trust anything. Don't buy any NASA products either. They're garbage, I assume. And this is just nasty of them to do this, because apparently this isn't true. So shame on NASA, too. And I don't know what else they've been lying about.
Probably everything. Who knows?
Anyway, we didn't get that sponsorship. But we're gonna keep trying, and hopefully one of these will come through. So last week we had a bit of a Q&A online on our social media, which you should go follow at howtodostuff_podcast on Instagram. There's all kinds of exclusive behind-the-scenes content, and it's all run by our great producer, Dan, here. So, but anyway, last week we had kind of a question and answer story, I guess you call it, and we had some responses, so we're going to be responding to that kind of week by week. So the question that we will be answering today, what is your favorite aisle at Home Depot? So I can start it off. I know, having been there a decent amount, that I really like the kind of the outdoors section where they have all the tents and stuff, and they have, different survival things, and sometimes it's cool to look at like the bows and stuff that they have there, but especially the tents again. I mean, I've never actually bought one there, but they are pretty cool to look at. And I mean, I wouldn't need one because I know how to make a shelter. If you've listened to this podcast, you also know. But it is kind of cool to see what other people are doing and how other people are surviving out there. So that would be my pick. Clyde, what about you?
Well, I had to take a little bit of time to think about this. I mean, Home Depot just has so many good aisles. You got the firearms aisle, the knives and weaponry aisle, you have the rope aisle. Such a broad arrangement of different items that are so useful for one's life and for surviving in the wilderness. Mm-hmm. However, I think the one that takes the cake for me is going to have to be the aisle with the chainsaws. I mean, chainsaws are just so versatile, so useful, so many different uses, and I just simply cannot not choose that aisle as my favorite.
Cool, yeah. Chainsaws are great for out in the wilderness. Just don't get any illegal chainsaws out there, Clyde. I'm sure they don't have any of those at Home Depot, though. But what about you, Calvin? What's your favorite aisle at Home Depot? You're kind of the expert on that since you work there.
Yeah, so I guess kind of a announcement. Probably none of the aisles are my favorite anymore. Because I don't work there.
What?
Yeah, we had a bit of an incident. I was, as my manager said, not welcome to come back to work.
Well, what happened?
Through no fault of my own, I was working in what used to be my favorite aisle, which is the lumber aisle. I was stocking, the lumber, and this kind of idiot, shopper or whatever was trying to get a big sheet of walnut and ended up, through a pretty quick series of events, totally shattering his whole femur. And for some reason, my manager kind of blamed the whole situation on me, even
Why?
though he said that it was poor stocking or like danger to the customers.
So you're the one who stocked it then?
Yeah, but I did it totally right. My manager showed me how, but it was not the way.
Doesn't sound like you were 100% sure. I mean, they fell on the person.
He was doing it wrong. I would have shown him, but I was walking.
Well, people shouldn't just walk into Home Depot and have wood falling on them. That seems like a bit of an oversight on your part.
It was not my fault at all. He was mishandling the walnut. It's a very dense, heavy wood. And you have to take precautions, which he just kind of blatantly ignored. In my opinion, he kind of accepted the risk once he walked in the door, even though there wasn't technically a risk because it should have been his thing. But long story short,
may I ask, where were you when this occurred? I feel like if your favorite is the lumber aisle, you'd be around there and you would have been able to see this customer doing this dangerous activity.
I saw him doing it. I was walking kind of towards him to kind of tell him that he was doing it wrong, and it just kind of happened right in front of my eyes. So then, of course, because me being right there, at the scene of the crime, per se, that was also another kind of piece to the pie, if you will, for my not being welcome in any Home Depot chain anymore.
Wow, any Home Depot? So you can't even shop there anymore?
No, technically not, but it's fine because they're kind of a crap place anyway.
All right, well, don't say that. Don't say that. We might want to reach out to them for a sponsorship or something.
Yeah,
so.
Well, sorry, it's just a bit of a fresh wound for me and I guess for the other guy as well.
Yeah, well, Home Depot is still good, and now that Calvin is no longer working there, you shouldn't have any problems with wood falling on you.
Well, you shouldn't have if you were. Anyway, it's fine. It's
Well, I
not,
guess we
but
have a couple
it
of
is, but-
kind of criminals here on the team, which is
Well,
disappointing.
there weren't any
but
charges.
You
He dropped-
can
there-
listen to me because I am, a good, upstanding citizen here. But anyway, I'm sorry to hear about that, and sorry for the person who got injured. And our thoughts and prayers are with him always. Anyway, we're gonna get into the discussion of the day, which is about first aid, which would have actually come in handy for you, Calvin, if you would have known how to do that. Maybe you could have prevented that person from, injuring themselves.
Well, first aid is for after something happens, but which I did try my best, but
But you didn't succeed, so.
Well, let's get right into it anyway. I
All
guess.
right. Well,
Kinda
you
move on
should be
from
listening
that.
to this episode, really. So I don't know how much you can contribute, but let's talk about first aid. You can just buy a lot of first aid kits out there that have Band-Aids and everything. If you don't have access to Band-Aids, another good kind of substitute, I think probably just leaves would be kind of a good consistency, similar texture and everything that you could apply. And, you don't have an adhesive in the wilderness, so to speak. So I don't know, probably like some sort of mud or something, I think.
Or tree sap could be used as an adhesive.
Yeah, that too. I don't know if there's any other, Clyde, do you know of anything?
Well, I mean, for things that you can just kind of find in wilderness to help with first aid, there's a plentiful amount of things, but if we're looking specifically at kind of covering a wound, other than what you've gone over, there isn't way too much. I mean, if you're out in the wilderness, hopefully you have clothes. Clothes are always a good thing that if you are really in desperate need of getting something on a wound, just cut off a bit of one of your clothing items and slap it right onto that wound. That blood should coagulate pretty quickly with that extra clothing on it.
Yeah, definitely. And while we're talking about clothing, we probably should get into our ad break here, which is, ironically enough, it's from a clothing kind of store. So that's cool. We're, again, branching out into new territory because the last couple have fallen through for us. We kind of went down in scale from Apple to NASA. Now we're, kind of going the next step down to see maybe this will be a more realistic goal for us. But the potential sponsor of the week, again, if you've been listening, these are companies that haven't, given us money yet, but that we're doing kind of these free ads for to encourage them to give us the money in the future. But this one is for Barb's Bridal, which we all know, or well, a lot of people don't know, but they are a local business here where we are, and you should support them and give them your business. And Barb's Bridal is a family-owned and operated business since 1978, which is almost, it's a lot of years. They offer a wide variety of formal outfits for any occasion, including weddings, proms, funerals, anniversaries, birthdays, business outings, concerts, baby showers, bridal showers, bachelorette parties, corporate gatherings, formal dances, dinner parties, baptisms, and much, much more. They are located in the downtown of the town we are currently in, which I won't name on this show for security reasons, but you can go to their website at Barb's Bridal's special occasion. Oh, I'm sorry. Barb's. It's all one word. How am I supposed to read that?
I think it's Barb's Bridal Special Occasions.
Barb's Bridal's Barb's Bridal Special Occasions.net. With dresses, tuxes, and everything in between, you'll find everything you need for your special occasion except the cake. And you can't beat the prices. So stop in today and check out their selection. They're located right behind the Auto Value, just off Main Street at 781 781,020, or no, 7, I don't know what it's 78124. 78124 Westmoreland Avenue. So that's Barb's Bridal. You know, it's great because you don't even have to be a bride or even to be getting married to just go there and buy some nice clothes. They have a nice wide selection for any occasion. So it's nice to have that right around here. So Barb's Bridal, please check it out. And Barb's Bridal, please, hope you're listening. I know we sent you a letter in the mail, so hopefully you are listening, and hopefully you're getting the sponsorship and getting that ready for us so that we can use that money for great things here. Yeah. So wow, that was another great sponsorship.
Potential sponsorship. That's right. And while we're on the subject of clothes, I think Yes.
Kelvin has brought in a bit of kind of a clothes related segment
Yes,
for
so
us.
a new segment for the week, throwing back to some past kind of wilderness knowledge base that we're kind of going to be building on.
The history of the How to Do Stuff in the Wilderness podcast, which go back and listen if you haven't already. Well, don't listen to the first 3 episodes because they're awful. They're garbage.
Yep.
We keep trying to get those off, but they can't be removed.
Yep. So anyway, a lot of you might recognize the kind of pillars of success. So yes, that's the new segment. We're going to be expanding upon the pillars of success, kind of adding them to what I like to call the Parthenon of survival. So
Cool.
Really hold up that.
Hopefully they're well supported so that the doesn't fall down on us and break our femurs.
Right. Thanks for that. So just as a recap, just going to be kind of moving on. Sorry, it's just okay. So yeah, going to be looking back at the pillars of success. Going to kind of recap what we have. So navigation was one that we added last week, so that's really important. The other 3 that we added in the one of the first episodes are water, fire and or heat, and shelter. So in this episode, or in this kind of segment, we're going to be adding on the pillar of clothing, which is extremely important.
We don't want to be caught in the wilderness without your clothes.
Exactly. So, and it kind of depends what you're going to be wearing, what your clothing items are, depending on the conditions. So clothes are basically, like a shelter for your body. So kind of a portable.
That's an interesting viewpoint.
Yeah. So it's sort of like a turtle. Is basic. So you can kind of equate clothing to turtles, and you can pretty much. The great thing about clothes is you can pretty much make the clothing out of anything in the wilderness. So depending on where you're at, I guess if you're in the desert, you're kind of screwed because cactuses are pretty prickly, so you don't want to make clothes out of those.
Kill a camel and.
Well, I guess you could, but yeah. So clothes are great, and you can pretty much find them anywhere. So.
And there's a pillar of success for you. So. Be prepared, get clothes, or make your own in the wilderness.
Absolutely.
I think that's it for us today. It's been a great episode. Great to be back and in your ears, giving you some wilderness knowledge. Thanks for tuning in, and we will be back with plenty more next week.
Yep. Thank you, everyone.
Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you.